If you've ever used a Garmin portable GPS, you know exactly what this is. Of course, what you've just been looking at is the rocker switch that Garmin has used as standard equipment on its portable GPS navigator since the Jurassic Age. Hello everybody, I'm Paul Bertorelli reporting for Avweb and Aviation Consumer. In this brief video, we're going to take a look at a new line of portable GPS navigators that Garmin is introducing at AOPA Summit in Tampa, Florida this week. What's new about these things is that they're a larger screen and a sharper screen. They have a different operating logic, but the big news is that they're touchscreen driven rather than rocker switch driven. Let's take a look. Mark Cook and I spent about 10 to 15 hours flying around California and the Pacific Northwest in his Glasstar Sportsman. Obviously it has a stick, not a yoke, but Garmin did do a good job with the yoke mount for the aera, and we'd like to zoom in and take a look at both the hardware and how they handle the yoke mount. The aera's yoke mount is pretty standard stuff. It has a large clamp that will accommodate just about any kind of yoke, and then it's adjustable. On the unit itself, there are two jacks on the side, one for an audio output that can go directly to an audio panel or an earbud, and the other is for a GPS remote antenna. The unit does come with the antenna, but we found we didn't really need it. It initialized just fine inside the aircraft. As for the mount itself, it has some nice details on it. I particularly like the spring-loaded tangs that lock the navigator into place. You just snap it in and it's a very secure arrangement. On the back of the unit, to deliver power and data and also the antenna information, there are a series of pins, spring-loaded pins, which fit into these small plates. And there's some nice detailing on the back of the aera. The battery compartment is here, and I'll just snap it off. And it has a nice secure hook arrangement, which is really quite a departure from the snap fit that most of these navigators seem to have. This is a battery. It's a good size lithium-ion battery, and it is removable. And inside we can see an SD card, a miniature SD card, which is used for data and also an external data cable. The power comes in through the yoke mount and it connects to a standard accessory plug, and the XM is powered by a branch off of the power cable through this jack, and this is the XM receiver. So really there's only one set of wires to deal with, and we didn't have any problems with tangling whatsoever. We're looking at the main map page here, and a good place to start is to talk about the screen size. The screen on the diagonal is 4.3 inches compared to the 3.8 inches used on the 396 and the 496, and the screen dimensions are 480 by 272 pixels, so the screen is noticeably brighter and noticeably sharper. The main map page doesn't have many controls on it. Basically all it has are the scale keys for in and out, and it has a menu for setting up things like declutter and showing and hiding various details, and setting the bug indicator and so forth. You can also customize the data fields. The basic screen navigation for the 396 and 496 was a dedicated page key. The aera does it a little bit differently in that it has a home page, and from that home page you can select whichever functions you'd like to use. The main map is here, and then it has a terrain page, an HSI panel, which is familiar to anybody who used a 396 or 496, has a nearest page and active flight plans and so forth. Let's start out first with a look at the direct to function. And this is as good a place as any to talk about how well the keys work. This is a resistive key technology, meaning that you have to press firmly, but not so firmly that it takes a lot of effort. If you just touch the keys, you really don't get any action. But if you press on the key, you get a blue reiteration, and that shows that the command has been accepted. Now, one of the real benefits of the aera or any of the Garmin touchscreen navigators is a virtual keyboard, and what you see here is an example of that. And it's very easy to use. If I want to key in direct, let's say that we want to go direct to Tampa, for example, we just key it in. And you'll notice that each time I touch a key, it reiterates and confirms that I've pushed the right key and I've gotten the command. And once I'm satisfied with that, I press OK, and then I press Activate, and it goes automatically to the main map page, and we're navigating. Now I'll concede I'm about as lazy as a slug when it comes to putting flight plans into any kind of a navigator, and I found the 396, 496 rocker to be kind of tedious. So the aera's virtual keyboard is a definite improvement over that. One thing I did use in the 396 and 496, however, was the XM function, and that's been even more improved in the aera. Let's zoom in and take a closer look at it. To get at the XM page, well, you know what to do. Just press the home key, and then you're presented with a series of sub-icons, one of which is weather, and then more sub-icons. Each one of these corresponds to a specific XM product. So if we wanted to look at NextRad, we'd simply push the icon. And since there's no thunderstorm activity around here in Southern California where we are at the moment, we can pan ahead on our course by pressing on the screen and then just panning in the direction we happen to be flying. And if there's any weather out there, and we've selected it to be overlaid, it will show up. And as you can see, there is a major system out in the Midwest at the moment. To get back out of this, simply press cancel, and then cancel again to get back to the main weather page. The aera also has a complete set of higher level features, and to get those you press the tools icon, and this goes to another sub-menu of icons which allows you to do things like set up a flight log and track log and so forth. It's also a weight and balance calculator. You simply key in the aircraft weight and moment data, and the aera will calculate the weight and balance. It also has Garmin's Safe Taxi, and there's a complete ground navigation system that's basically based on the Nuvi navigation model. So if you've used that, you pretty much know how to use the ground navigator. Here's some final thoughts. As you can see, the aera is a big improvement over the 396 and the 496. The screens are definitely brighter and sharper. So the question is, does the touchscreen system really work? And the answer is it definitely works. It's very easy to use, and best of all, the operating logic is much easier to understand. Now the aera will be sold in 4 models: the 500, the 510, the 550, and the 560. These range in price from $799 at the bottom end to $1999 for the top model that includes the XM receiver. You can find out more at Garmin.com, and you can see the aera at the AOPA Summit show in Tampa this week. I'm Bertorelli reporting for Avweb and Aviation Consumer. Thanks for watching.